And I think you could say, well, the odds are set up for you losing in business. The difference is people have a propensity to want to spend money.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's The Jeff Heilman Project, and it is beginning to feel like summer here. We are sweating it out in the podcast booth and fighting off the flies, but it's all
Got
good.
back from Las Vegas. That was
Now you can't
very
steal
hot.
what our topic of conversation for today is.
Well, that would be tough considering you never tell me what the topic's going to be.
So by hook or by crook, you will figure it out at some point. But yeah, so we only have today, I hope we're not disappointing anybody too much. We have a limited amount of time. Everybody's coming and going. Graduations. Congratulations, all you graduates.
Congratulations on Bella's wedding.
My sister got married.
Cool
We
as
got
that.
graduates.
How often does your sibling get married? I mean, that's just...
Well, my prayer is
Straight
once
cool.
in a lifetime because I have one sibling,
yeah.
and I'm praying that this is the long-term haul here.
That's right.
But so in this semi-abridged Jeff Heilman Project podcast episode,
Somewhat abridged.
we're going to talk about Las Vegas. We're going to talk about, I posted a reel on Instagram. If you guys don't follow, mine, Jessica Builds. And what's your Instagram account?
Jeff Heilman.
Jeff Heilman.
Yeah.
So,
Super original.
if you don't know how to spell Heilman, it's Heilman. And if that's too much, then just go to Jessica Builds. And at Jessica Builds, I posted a reel within quote, there's a trend out there that's called unpopular opinion, and you state an unpopular opinion and then post an image or write about it. And so the unpopular opinion is that there's nothing for families to do in Vegas. And so so I just made a reel and I was like highlighting some of the things that we were able to do because my sister did get married and we did have all 7 of our children
awesome.
plus
It was great.
Carissa, Jeffrey's fiance. And so we had 8 kids with us from the ages of 6 to 26. And the unpopular opinion, we proved wrong. There's plenty to do.
Let's talk
in
about
Las
that.
Vegas.
What did we actually do? I know we went to Boulder Dam.
Well, that was at the end of the trip. At the beginning of the trip, we were blessed with a timeshare to stay at, and so we had.
Thanks, Grandpa Dan.
Thanks, Grandpa. We had a timeshare. It had enough beds for everybody. Boys were in one half, girls were in another. We did the pool, so we were in a heat advisory. So all you Las Vegians, we empathize. It was it got up to 110 a few days. The car thermometer said 118, so that was pretty.
Glad I spent a couple $100 to get Brad. We gotta have Brad on the podcast.
That would be fun.
To get Brad to fix the air conditioning.
If you don't know, if you're in San Jose, Brad's Auto Care.
It's Brad. Brad's Auto Care.
And his name is Brad, or at least we call him Brad.
It's Brad.
It's Brad.
Yeah.
And he does great car repair, and we took our 2008
7
Suburban
GMC Suburban
down because the AC blower had stopped working and preemptively had it fixed.
It needed some kind of
It needed a healing.
I think the compressor is fine. The lines are fine. The Freon volume is fine.
Yeah.
It
The
needed
blower,
a motor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got it fixed, and there were points when it was actually almost too cool to have blowing.
That's when you know you've got a good car guy, is when you have a 200,000-mile truck that's almost 20 years old, and your air conditioning is too cold for Las Vegas in the summer.
So we got to the resort. We did pool time immediately. Then we did on Saturday. We took, I thought we've been to Las Vegas as adults, and it's definitely, there is we call it there's a before 10 p.m. Las Vegas, and there's a after 10 p.m. Las Vegas.
Yep.
There's like 2 shifts. There's a day shift and there's a night shift. It is completely different at night than it is during the day. But when we've gone in the past, we have gone and beheld the billions of dollars spent on the casinos and inside the hotels.
Yep.
And so we took the kids on Saturday to the Venetian to see the St. Mark's Square, and there's a few art galleries in there.
I have to say, you did a great mom job.
Tried.
The job that you did.
Well, you did a great job shuffling us around and being available. We went to, after the Venetian,
You went to the M&M store, you went to Coca-Cola store.
Yeah, that was all on the Strip because there is plenty to see on the Strip during the daytime. We walked through the MGM Grand, and we did like you said, the M&M store, which is, there's a Coca-Cola store. Oh, we went to Italy. That was the other thing that we did the first day, is we went to Italy in Las Vegas and had pizza and saw Lady Gaga has a boutique in the MGM, which is attached to Italy, and you can see the meat dress.
That was actually...
I mean...
I thought it was pretty cool to see the meat dress.
It's pretty
I don't know if it was petrified, but it was like jerked.
It's jerky meat.
It was like jerky meat to make it so that it would
to
not
see her
cause a health
shoes,
hazard.
to see the.
I thought that was pretty cool.
The weird, I consider they're not day wear by sure, but to see her her avant-garde costumes.
It was pretty avant-garde-y.
It's pretty cool. But it was really cool to see like Teddy, who's 11, walking to these hotels and like look up, and I mean you can't help but look up at the Venetian and see all of the artwork. He loves art, you guys. Teddy's been on the podcast before, and just to go wow, and then to drive by the Eiffel Tower and wow, and just when your kids, everything is wow, and so it was pretty cool. I mean, there's nothing like taking your kids to Vegas to hear wow. And Nessie was definitely impressed with the large iPads everywhere.
Yeah. Always.
Also known as slot machines, but everywhere there was a big adult iPad for people. People were sitting in front of those iPads for a long time.
I think it was cool to see 110 degrees, hanging by the pool. I was working. I took like a quarter of a day a couple times to go do fun stuff, but it was just nice. I mean, it was really nice to have the family together. It was really nice to have Jeffrey in town, Carissa in town, and
that was so we all got in on Saturday, and then what did we do? Sunday we had Sunday we had family breakfast. Saturday we were just picking people up at the airport and stuff. Sunday was family breakfast, which I got up at the timeshare and made. I mean, you guys maybe you don't know, but if you're cooking for, let's see, there were 10 of us by the time you included you and me. No, was there 10 or 11? People. There were 10.
Yeah, each day.
When we make eggs, it is 18 eggs. So it's the whole. It's not just the 12. It's not the dozen. It's
if you get eggs in a package, we're cooking them.
It's 18 eggs, 2 packages. This is why we want you guys to like, subscribe, and follow, because eventually, someday, we would like this to be monetized.
It'll monetize itself eventually.
Hey.
I'm 78. I've been doing this podcast for 29 years, and somebody just got me to 1,000 subscribers.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm content. 200 people, 180, whatever we're at, is more than enough. I am content with my portion. However,
my portion too. Yeah.
If there's one thing that you've learned, if you haven't learned anything, getting to hang out with us over 60 plus
I haven't
episodes.
Learned anything, I would agree.
I'm the one that asks for the money and the followers and subscribers, and I'm the one that's going to tell you why you should participate financially. Jeff is the one that's going to tell you, we will do it for free till the day we die.
Do it for free till the day we die.
So we have a balance. That's the yin and the yang. But needless to say, 18 eggs, 2 packages of sausage. Let's see. Throughout the week, we went through a gallon of milk.
I don't know how you got through all that with the grocery budget that we did.
The fruit, I'm just like, whatever you guys make for your family, just multiply it by like 3. So anyways, family breakfast was Sunday. Then we went to the hotels and came home for games.
Yeah.
Andrew and Washington are big Catan players. So I think it was Sunday night, right, that we did the expansion pack. of Catan, which seems to take, I love it and I hate it at the same time, because it took, how long, Andrew, do you think it took for us to play that first night with the expansion pack? It's always longer.
We've played with the expansion pack before. The first time we played was a few months ago, and that took, I think, 4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah.
But Washington and I, at least with a few of the party members involved, when we played, we're a little bit more experienced, so it probably took maybe 2.5 hours.
Super fun, though. Settlers of Catan is a great game, especially when you're in Vegas and you're rolling dice. I mean, so you want to share about your dice throwing experience, or is this a...
Win some, you lose some.
Is this a G-rated episode?
G-rated. No. Well, I was up. All right, I took about 400 in cash total, and played dice on the first night, and I was up like $1,100. And then we spent some money buying, going out to eat.
Yeah, we all went out to Denny's one day for breakfast.
We went out to Denny's for breakfast,
which was great.
Just doing stuff. And then I went out another night, and I was like, down.
Bye-bye. See ya.
I basically lost every roll and every card. It basically went doot, 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 doot.
And
it's the opposite of a startup stock ticker. Let's put it that way. Just turn it around.
The biggest revelation that I received, and
don't be an idiot.
No, it wasn't. Don't be an idiot. It was that so often being in startup world and as entrepreneurs,
that's a better bet than what I did.
Exactly. That's my point. It's like we think that we're gambling with our career because we're doing something that could or could not. Like, what is the definition of gamble? It could or couldn't hit. Like it has the opportunity to hit, and it also has the opportunity to fail. And so it almost feels like, as entrepreneurs and being in business, that we're gambling. But then when you go to Las Vegas and you actually gamble, where you've got the house odds against
gambling.
you,
Yeah.
you've got, you it's not a matter if you're going to lose, you are going to lose.
You're going to lose.
At least when you're in business or doing something for yourself, it's not, you are going to lose. Your chances are you're going to have to readjust, and not everything's going to win. Not everything's going to succeed the first time.
Yeah.
But if you keep at it long enough, like, you will eventually attract followers or have people do this. So it was just
I think startups are way less risky than going to casinos, because the odds are set up for you to lose. And I think you could say, well, the odds are set up for you losing in business. The difference is people have a propensity to want to spend money.
Yeah.
Once you have enough money to feed food, clothing, shelter, like, the only thing that money is good for is making more money. That's a strange...
And when you're gambling, there's no opportunity to make more money. You're not investing in anything when you're gambling. So it's just a game at that point. And if you can play the game and afford to lose, then, that's where you're at. If you can't, you should definitely not.
Definitely don't.
Definitely not be gambling.
I would recommend against.
I think that I've had epiphanies throughout my life. I feel like I'm doing all the talking today, but hey, this is the Jeff Heilman Project with his lovely wife, Jessica.
We're having fun.
I've had several epiphanies throughout my life.
And I'm drawing.
And
stuff. I draw stuff.
He draws stuff.
Yeah.
For those of you who are listening and not watching the YouTube, he just held up his sketchbook and he showed everybody what he was drawing.
Yeah.
Turn around. Several epiphanies throughout my life. And one of those epiphanies, when I was walking through Barnes & Noble probably 20 years ago, before I started writing for myself, I saw the title of a book, and there was a toilet it was a cartoon toilet on the cover, and it said, "What your poo is trying to tell you."
What your poo's trying to tell you?
Yeah. And so I thought, if somebody can write a book, well, I'm sure it was a naturopathic, like it was a medical book about, health and
sure,
whether you got a floater or a sinker, I guess. But it triggered in me, like, if somebody can write, publish, illustrate, design, put it on an end cap at Barnes & Noble
and sell
about this and sell it, then we should be able to do just about anything. If you have an idea for something, there is someone out there that will buy it. There is someone out there that will watch it. There's someone out there that will read it. There's someone out there that might
people
pick
listen
it
to our
up.
podcast, and I would never in a million years have thought that somebody would listen to our podcast in the beginning. I didn't know what we would talk about. You tried to get me to do this in 2008. I'm like, all right, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, we're done. Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah, and you can still pull those videos up too. Those are still on YouTube, but
people do listen, and there are people out there. There are YouTubes. There are people out there who listen because they're human. We're human. Let's get together.
Yeah.
Right? We got something in common with just about everybody.
And they're looking for outside opinion. They're looking for opinions.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that we talk about on this podcast that you couldn't Google and look for yourself. But you come
Facts.
here to hear about our opinion. And we have opinions. And
I think all successful people have opinions.
I think they do.
If you don't have an opinion, does that mean you're not successful? Not necessarily. I mean, there's lots of things I don't have opinions about because I don't know enough about them. But most things that I know a little something about.
There are things that you don't have an opinion about.
Sure, if I don't know anything about them.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't have an opinion about.
Polar ice cap.
Don't know about it.
Okay.
Why is it melting? Is it melting? Is that true? Talk to Al Gore. Maybe he could tell you.
That's an opinion.
That's an opinion. That's his opinion, right? There's lots of things that we don't necessarily have opinions on, but I think most successful people have strong opinions about things when they have to make, because successful people have to make decisions. So if you're going to make a lot of decisions, then you have to have some form of opinions so that you can make decisions at the scale that you need to have in order to be successful. I mean, it's the volume of decisions that I have to make in business, the volumes of decisions that you have to make raising 7 kids. It's hundreds and thousands of decisions a day. And so opinions, if they're rooted in principles, they become kind of standard operating procedures for faster decision making that allows you to scale.
We were going to do an abridged episode, and before you melt away and turn into Olaf from Frozen, we should probably say our final goodbyes. We love you. Let us know in the comments about your experiences.
Thank you for listening to our 12-minute podcast
in Las Vegas. We did go to hotels. We went by the pool. We went to a beautiful wedding that was outdoors, and I wondered why it was going to be at 9:30 in the morning, and then I realized that it's Las Vegas and it's summer and it's good. It was very good that it was at 9:30 in the morning outside. But it was a really unique wedding in the sense that we had brunch.
Oh, the wedding, yeah.
Which was super cool. We had a wedding brunch, and props to my sister for planning all that. And then went back to the hotel and took more kids to the airport. And we had adult night, which was fun. We just went out with the older kids over 21 and had
that was fun.
Adult
dessert.
Night
was
we
fun.
had dessert at the Waldorf Astoria, which was beautiful. And they have a great view. When you go to Las Vegas, wait a few months, but go to the Sky Bar at the Waldorf Astoria. They're
remodeling it right now.
It's remodeling, and it's beautiful.
It's going to be great.
It's on the 23rd floor. And then throughout the rest of the week, I slept so much. I was like, why am I so tired? I couldn't figure out why I was so tired, but then I remembered that it was 110 degrees, and I had been cooking every single meal for 10 people for a week. But I slept a lot.
What was so cool, and I think we did it a year and a half ago, we went to Disneyland in December, and we got an Airbnb.
Yes.
And this time, I haven't liked staying in Airbnbs because I've stayed in hundreds and hundreds of hotels throughout 20 years of being.
Served.
I like to be served. I like people making my bed every day. I like people cleaning up my stuff and bringing me new towels. And hotels are easy to get in and out of, and it's just, there's a lobby. It's central to everything downstairs. So I haven't been a big fan of Airbnbs. However, there is absolutely a market for Airbnbs and for hotel timeshares, because when we're together as a family, we had 2 king suite ensuite bedrooms with
2 living rooms,
and dining room tables,
beds, couches,
and we had it slept 8. We could have slept 12, and there was no problem. We had 10 total, and it was so nice. We could cook. There was a fridge. You could buy groceries.
You kept it at 68 degrees?
I kept it at 68 degrees for a whole week, which in Las Vegas is really doing something. Thank goodness we were on the north side of the building. Mm-hmm. With the northern exposure, I think it took some of the edge off the heat until the afternoon sun was kind of crushing it. It was really something. But if you just 18 months ago, going to Disneyland, amazing. amazing experience to have all 7 kids together. This last week in Las Vegas, to have all 7 kids together, we have to plan our next.
I know. I'm excited
Our
about
next
planning.
trip. I
Do
don't
you have
care
any
where it is.
suggestions? The people, friends, send us your suggestions on where you think a good family outing. I mean, if we can go to Vegas, it sounds like we can go to anywhere.
Yeah, we can go anywhere. We can go to Southern California.
I could not believe 7 million people a year visit Hoover Dam. I couldn't believe the amount.
Couldn't believe the parking structure was full on a 110-degree day
all
in the middle
of the different cars, like Missouri, New Jersey. If you're driving from New Jersey,
if you're driving from New Jersey to go to the Hoover Dam.
Wow. Or at
What
least, I mean, if
is
you're
up?
going from Jersey to California and you feel like you have to stop at the Hoover Dam, that is a huge.
Yeah.
Plus,
I've never been across the scare the wadding out of you bridge that you go over, but every time I've ever gone over the dam has always been you actually drive over the dam itself.
Yeah.
And this time they have, I guess 2010, they have the pass through. The freeway has the pass through. So that was terrifying. I did not want to go across that. Plus, I didn't feel so hot that
feeling
day.
so good. But so the Hoover Dam, Boulder City, we went to a few antique stores. It was just like, it was a really sweet time. And we love to travel. We love posting videos about the travel. We have a great time traveling. And
we do fun stuff, and it's just high fives in the hallway in the hotel room.
Yeah.
So that works too.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in and listening. Sorry again that it's
15,
short.
18 minutes. This is our thing.
We are
Maybe we'll
sweating.
Post. We are melting down, and I've got a phone call for work starting in 2 minutes. But thanks for being with us, and just remember summer.
What's your summer plans? Give us some ideas.
To try to get some family time.
Maybe you're not going anywhere.
Fun.
Maybe you've got some routines for being at home, and like, what do you do? What do you do to stay entertained? We all have kids that are not in school. If you don't have them signed up for anything, and you guys are like at home, send me your ideas, please. Reach out to me, DM me, do something. Tell me what you're going to do. Tell me what I should do with all these.
Tell us what you're doing.
Tell us what you're doing.
We
want to know. Have an awesome rest of your week.
Ciao.
See you next time, and thanks for tuning in to the Jeff Heilman Project. Bye.
See ya.